Utopia and the Home Without Marriage and Family. Shuifeng. August 25, 2007. It is human beings' general attribute to pursue an ideal realm, society, human life and living, which is also the everlasting resources of spiritual driving force. The sages in history whose common wish is to lead human beings into an ideal society, no matter Plato's Republic, Thomas More's Utopia, Edward Bellamy's Looking Backward, Confucius' Great Harmony, and Marxist, Leninist theory about communism, they all want to lead human beings into an ideal society. In fact, when we study Lao Tzu, Sakyamuni, Jesus and Muhammad's aspiration, it is easy to find that they also want to bring human beings into an ideal society. Human beings not only study ideal society in theory but also explore it in reality. From the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom, Brook Farm in America, Fruitlands, Shakers, Pullman's Capitalism Utopia to Collective Farm in Soviet, People's Commune in China, Osho's Community, and kinds of utopia in Japan, America and Canada, they all try to explore an ideal approach for human beings. Unfortunately, the explorations above finally come to nothing in the sense of the practice. Yet it left us huge spiritual wealth, though none of them worked it out. Maybe we cannot say they were because they helped us to move to a higher level from the beginning stage. Moreover, it is these explorations that made us able to get into the channel of Lifechanyuan and finally lay a foundation for human beings to get into Lifechanyuan. A theory, doctrine, or a creed won't work in practice if it is not perfect and also can't lead human beings into an ideal society. If you conduct the practice with imperfect theory, doctrine, or creed, the result is that everything is lost. We will find out the defectiveness when we study the theory, doctrine, and creed in history. However, we shouldn't totally repudiate them for their defectiveness but discard the dregs and select the essence, inherit the essence of predecessors' thought, develop and bring forth new idea and finally lead human beings into an ideal realm. No matter what theory it is, it will be useless if you can't put it into practice, and no matter what practice it is, it will be walking in the darkness without the guidance of the theory. So far as human beings' attitudes toward ideal society, Lifechanyuan value is a relative perfect system, that is not the brag and boast but a reality. Anyone who disagrees with this idea can compare your own theory, doctrine and creed to the values of Lifechanyuan. As long as you compare them comprehensively, you have to acknowledge the values of Lifechanyuan. If we make a summary of the theory, doctrine, creed and practice of Utopia society in history, we can find there are 8 major limitations. There isn't a right concept of universe and right recognition of the greatest creator, time and space, and there isn't a reliable belief system. There isn't a right concept of life and a full-scale understanding about the origin, development and destination of life. There isn't a right concept of human life and a specific realization and definition to the values and significances of human life. Can't escape the restraints from the thinking of country and traditional family, and still turn over in the field of the country and the traditional family. Overlook the indolence, decay and autocracy in human nature. Short of systemic and explicit theory interpretation, use much more threatening and frightening tone, such as, go to hell. Short of the guidance of spirit and heart, either depress the love and sex or indulge the love and sex. Short of freedom, life is too dull, disciplines are too strict and impartial, human nature is suppressed. The home without marriage and family is the continuation of utopia and communism practice in history. It not only preserves the essence of the human intelligence but also develops a new visual field, not only avoids its defectiveness but also improves its theory and practice. Although many problems will occur in the process of concrete practice, we believe that the home without marriage and family can act the leading role in the process of getting into Lifechanyuan era, as long as we think actively, act practically and realistically, improve continuously and hold steady of Lifechanyuan values. There will be 8 main features in the home without marriage and family of Lifechanyuan. Regard Lifechanyuan values as standard of living. Work according to one's ability, distribution according to one's need. Rid of the consciousness of family, religion, political party and country, no law and regulation, commandment and dharma. Everything depends on the power of soul, act with one's nature. Freedom of love and sex, follow the lifestyle of celestial beings in the thousand-year world. Collective activity and collective canteen. No assignment, work as one's own choice. There are endless recreational activities and well-off in material. What kind of people can get into home without marriage and family? Fully comprehend the values of Lifechanyuan and willing to follow these values. Willing to sacrifice to the happiness of humankind. Mentally and physically healthy, love working. Generally paid off worldly obligation, having no worldly attachments. Regard yourself as one of the most civilized and excellent people among human beings. Enjoy entertainments, prefer to be clean and tidy. Believe that you can bring happiness to others instead of worries. Yearn for the lives of Lifechanyuan era, celestial islands continent, Elysium world. I would like to address the people who wish to get into the home without marriage and family by quoting the words of an author. In every great revolution era, there are some authentic idealists who had great sympathy to the humankind and had fought for human beings' freedom and liberation heroically as their magnificent career. For the purpose of the national benefits, everyone is obligated to sacrifice himself. Where the Tao is, where is heart to place? Though thousands of people reject it, I will still toward it. Regardless of success or failure, despising the high position and great wealth, they dedicate their precious youth, blood even life to fulfill the wonderful dream. Such people are authentic, lovable and respectable people and worth to be remembered and esteemed by humankind. What they have done liberate human beings step by step, and make people gradually step into the kingdom of freedom. Their sacrifices opened up a bright future for the later generation.